Hi, I'm Martha Schott, and I'm happy to be speaking with you today as we honor our 50-year members. My husband, John, is one of those 50-year members. He's actually been a member of the church for 60 years, and I've been a member for 45 years. Our 3 daughters grew up in the church. For all those years, the First Congregational Church has given us joy and love and hope. Baptisms, confirmations, Sunday school, Christmas pageants, early morning breakfasts on Easter. The church has been there to support the milestones of our lives. The Sunday school program gave our kids the gentle push to value themselves and care about all people. The church has been there for us too, in times of illness and the loss of our parents. Our church has always been a beacon of hope. But what about today? Fires, floods, economic stress, racism, politics, a pandemic. So many forces are pulling us apart right now. Our world, our country, even our neighborhoods are full of tension, of fear. What is our church doing about that? I had a conversation with Liz. She told me about how she visits Janet every week or so, and they sit in Janet's backyard and they talk about the weather and the recorder group and books. And when the visit is over, they both feel better. I thought about Julia bringing the moms group together in the Bluff Avenue courtyard to share their worries and their stories and talk about what's best for their kids and the community. Signs of hope. I thought about my conversation with Lisa, who does so many wonderful things for our church's social media. And she does all of this work while she's teaching and caring for 3 little kids, even when they're ill. Our church isn't shutting down during the pandemic. It's stepping up. Our young people are cleaning up yards. Our members are sending care packages to college kids. Our musicians are performing in front of their computer screens. Our Sunday school kids are making food bags for the food banks. Our boards are supporting those in need of shelter, medical aid, and financial help. And I get my weekly dose of hope from the strong and caring women who attend the Thursday women's group on Zoom. Our church will continue to offer hope for the future. Our church is calling us to do good in the world, not through rigid creeds which dictate what we should think, but by inviting us to study, worship, think for ourselves, and act. We're not required to perform tests of faith. We're asked to live in testament to faith. This is where I derive hope from the UCC, Hope for the World. I think I can explain it best by taking you to Galilee for a minute or two. When we were in Israel, we stood in the place overlooking the Sea of Galilee where Jesus gave the Sermon on the Mount. There are markers there for each of the Beatitudes, the core of Jesus' message to us. Care about the poor, the weak, the suffering, those in need, those who are marginalized, persecuted. As I stood there reading these words of Jesus, I thought, yes, that's the message. This call to social justice is the core of my faith, and I believe that our church, the First Congregational Church, is responding to Jesus' call to action. Our denomination, our ministers, and our congregation are forward-thinking. We are called to address systemic racism, to be responsible for climate change, to be stewards of the earth. We are open and an affirming church. Unlike some churches, we welcome everybody. We believe God is still speaking. How does the UCC give you hope? Many of you would answer differently. The music, the vibrant children's program, insightful sermons, the fellowship and community. They are all sources of hope. For me, they are important too. But I feel a huge hope for the world, for all the problems and divisions we are facing now, in our church's loving call to reach others, to drop barriers that divide us, to bring us together. Jim called us to worship recently with the words, "We are one world, we are one family." That gives me a lot of hope.